Welcome to the darkest extremes of a city's dream in the unblinking eye of culture and entertainment. Thank you for tuning in and turning on to this figment of your imagination. And right about now, we'd like to take you out of your world and into ours and tell you a story that you will never forget. It's not a true story, but not everything in it is false. In the beginning, there was man and there was woman. Or was there woman and then man? Well, I'd like to introduce you to Adam the Next.
How you doing, Cez?
My brother.
Always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure.
And listen, you know, we did this, and we're about to do it again.
We gonna do it again.
Thank you for coming,
That's right.
my brother.
Hey, man, it's always nice
So,
to be out here.
you know, when we talk about Adam the Next, let's start off with it, because that was the beginning of existence.
That's right.
Tell me about the beginning of Adam's existence.
Okay, well, Adam was Adam. Everybody know Adam, right? But I'm Adam the Next.
The Next.
Adam the Next is the next. And the next means so many different things. And we can go into that for a long time, but basically, you know, when you think of what you want to do, where you want to be, you know, you think of the people that inspire you to be there, and you say, I want to be the next. You know, so Adam is the next.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So is there any play on the X, or is just the word in its entirety?
On the X, in what sense?
Well, you know, N-E-X-T, you know, Malcolm X.
I thought you were saying that.
Next.
I know.
You know, I don't know, you know, I'm just searching, you know, because we're going to get into finding more out about how this came to be.
Oh, you know that
this character.
Yeah.
You know, Adam the Next.
That's right. And mentioning, you know, Malcolm X, you know that Malcolm X is he's a great figure to look up to. You know, we all know the history, and you know, we all look up to people like Malcolm X, and you know, a lot of what Malcolm X teaches, you know, stuff I believe, you know, because Malcolm X, he wasn't just, you know, he wasn't just an activist, you know, for civil rights. He was somebody who would tell the people, you know, if you know, you put them 5 fingers together, you know, we gonna be stronger, so we can be strong and unite. And you know, people felt powerful. They felt powerful enough, not just to do it in like a peaceful manner. You know, they felt like, yeah, if we have to take it by force, we can take it by force.
Is your music going that way?
Yeah,
with the force?
I believe that. I believe in taking things by force. That what you want, you gotta go take it. You know, I grew up in church. And a lot of what they preach about is having faith. And, you know, they say that, you know, you got to have faith and it's going to happen. But what they don't remember is that faith without works is void. So you got to go and you got to conquer it. You know what I'm saying? Like Malcolm X used to say, I believe in that.
So did you sing in church?
I sang in church, yeah. I started when I was 6.
Yeah?
Yep. I sang, He never
When you were
failed
6?
me yet. He never failed me yet. Oh, Jesus Christ never failed me yet. And they loved it. But
at 6 years old?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't always in tune with my ability to sing. You know, I just did it very well the first day that I did it in front of the church. But you know, I was 3 when I started to when I started to exhibit a talent and an interest, an apparent interest for music. My dad noticed it, you know. I didn't really notice it because I was just going with the motion, just things that I would naturally feel, and I would voice it, you know, as a 3-year-old child. When I would hear my sister sing in the church, she was 5, so we both been singing since we was little kids, but she started first.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
and I used to tell her, you know, your arm got to be down. She always had her arm up like this, with the microphone this close to her mouth, her hand on her elbow, and she would just be like, you would be able to tell by her body language she was so nervous. Yeah, I used to tell her, you can't do that. Okay. And I also used to tell her, you know, that part, I was 3. That part of the song doesn't go like that, I used to tell her.
Okay.
And so I was critiquing at 3 years old, but I never liked my own voice. But the people liked it. So
would you say that was normal to at least now you know what your voice is.
Right.
You're performing using
Right.
your voice. Was it a normal progression?
I guess, from my experience, and this probably happened to you when you were a child as well. Well, I don't know, because when I was a child, we had like the Walkman, and then we had like the portable recording Walkman, where you could record and play back your voice. And so the first time I heard my voice, I was like, wow, my voice sounds strange. It doesn't sound like the way I hear it in my own head. And my sister said the same thing. And I remember my mom said, yeah, I felt the same way the first time I heard myself. And a bunch of people who I knew.
Voice.
Yeah, a bunch of people who I knew, kids, they would hear themselves back on videos that they taped on a camcorder, and they would say, why I sound like that? So to me, it was just like, oh, it's normal. We don't really know our voices until we actually hear it being played back. Because the way you hear yourself is not exactly the way you actually sound.
The vibration of the bone.
Yeah. So you actually do have to get used to your voice.
Okay.
So I started doing it and doing it and doing it, and I got used to it. Now, I listen to a record that I've recorded, and it sounds good to me.
All right.
Because I'm familiar with my voice. I can hear that voice and know it's mine. I know how to make it sound good. I know what sounds good and what doesn't favor my voice. And so it's very different. But that actually started when I was about 12.
So what voice do you sing?
I sing my voice.
Okay, I mean, is it a baritone? Is it second tenor? Is it
I'm a contratenor.
contratenor?
And,
Okay.
and you're a musician, so you understand.
Yeah.
Contratenor is somewhere between tenor and, of course, alto, which would be the lowest female voice.
Right,
So
okay.
that means I can sing high notes without
Contralto would be the woman's version
right.
of it.
I
Okay.
can sing high notes without necessarily having to go into my falsetto.
So that goes on a natural progression.
On a natural progression.
From a talking voice all the way up
All
to
the way, oh yeah, I've even done opera. So, and to do opera, you
opera.
have, yeah, to do opera, you have to be able to use your diaphragm and reach the high notes, because opera singers aren't using falsetto.
So you're a technical singer as well.
Yes.
Was there a training that went along with that?
No, I mean, my dad, he started playing guitar when he was 4, and he learned from my grandfather, who was also a guitar player. So we're just all musicians, and we're all born with music in our blood. So, I never picked up a guitar to play. My dad never bought me a guitar, but the music was there. And so I was just singing. I was just singing. I was always listening to songs. My dad was always playing songs at home. And he would play the good stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Like what? I just want to know where you're rearing.
He played, he used to play Fantasy by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Fantasy,
I used to
okay.
love that. Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
And a lot of stuff. He played Lionel Richie.
Okay. Okay.
He loved Benson, the guitar player.
George Benson.
George Benson.
Do you have a favorite artist?
Do I? Oh man, I've got a few. I'd say that when I was younger, I liked Usher. I liked Neo. As a child, I liked Boyz II Men.
Okay.
I liked Brian McKnight.
Why Boyz II Men?
Why Boyz II Men? I liked Boyz II Men because my dad was very much into them.
Okay.
Okay? So he had Boyz II Men, and he had Boyz II Men too. Okay? And I noticed that they were singing in this 4-voice split, and it was very impressive.
Okay.
And they were actually, I call them the last of the Motown groups.
Okay.
Because they were in that modern R&B hip hop era. They were in the early to mid 90s where R&B was turning into hip hop. But they were still singing in that 4-part split that you would hear from the Motown groups.
Being a group person, coming up in the Motown era.
That's right.
Had you ever decided to be in a group? Have you ever been in a group?
Well, my dad, he decided he would start a group when I was about 12.
Okay.
And yeah, and I was the third voice.
Okay.
Okay. And as time progressed and I got older, my voice started to change and my skill level began to grow. He eventually made me the lead vocalist
Okay.
for a time.
So when you said third voice, I want to get an idea and let my audience know, what do you mean by the third voice?
Well, the third voice is basically the harmony that goes below the melody. There are
Octave?
No, it's not an octave.
Okay.
It's something like 2 notes below it. So if the main vocal is singing on a C, then the third voice would probably start on the A, and then the second voice, which is always going to sing above it, is probably going to start on the E, and then that together will start a harmony. And then from there, it just goes wherever the melody takes it.
Had you ever played an instrument, piano or anything like that, with your skill, your training?
I produce most of the songs that I've recorded, the whole instrumental, not just actually engineering it, but I've sat in front of the computer with my MIDI keyboard. I have an MPK, you know, like the one that Swiss Beats uses, a lot of nice drum machine sounds and all of that. And I put together most of those instrumentals. So I'm familiar with the piano. I'm not a technical pianist, but I'm familiar with the piano, and I make great instrumentals. I play to my feeling.
Okay.
But what I've been playing professionally since I was a child is the drum set.
Okay.
Yeah.
Traps.
I'm sorry?
Traps, drums. I mean,
Yeah,
snare,
exactly.
tom,
Yeah.
bass, tom,
Everything.
bass, drum.
The whole thing.
Okay.
And
how many cymbals? Just curious.
3. I like 3.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I like to have the crash. I like to have the crash ride. And then I like to have maybe like a small 13 here, 12 in the middle, you know?
Yeah.
And DW, love it.
Now, one thing that I recall is that you speak different languages with your voice. Your vocal has so many languages in it.
That's right. Yes.
I'd like to hear something.
Okay. So I started singing in Spanish when I was about 12. And you see, it goes back to when I was 12 a lot, because I think the becoming of my voice started to happen when I was about 12. I really started to elevate, and I stared to mature vocally.
Settling from the youthful voice into the
right, exactly.
normal tone, if you will.
Yeah, when I was about 12. And, you know, my voice was still changing, obviously. So then when I was 14, I went through that squeaky phase, just like we all do, right?
Okay.
But skillfully, after years of listening to the radio in my room with nothing to do, I was just a little boy doing homework, and I didn't play much video games, even though I loved them. But my mom, she knew I loved it so much that she would take the video games from me, so I'd listen to the radio. And so I learned so many songs. I learned the riffs. I got so good at singing, you know? And that's when I started to learn Spanish for singing. And I used to listen a lot to Mark Anthony, because he's also a contratenor, you know? And he's got a song there that goes, Que te olvidaste de mí, que se ha escapado el amor por el portal del hastío. Que te dice el corazón, que hallarás en otros brazos lo que no hallaste en los míos. And it goes on from there. And it's a really nice song. It turns into a salsa. It starts out as a bolero. And it's really interesting. And it's one of the songs that I like to interpret. I sang in Italian when I was 18.
Yeah, that's where I was going next, to the Italian.
When I was
Italy,
18.
I do say.
And it was an opera. It was a song that Andrea Bocelli sings with Celine Dion. Okay? They've actually recorded it together. Other people have done it as well, but I think they were the first ones, and their version is the most popular. And I sang it at my graduation, yeah, with a friend of mine. And
for the entire student body?
Everybody. Everybody was there.
That's a privilege.
Family and friends, everybody, everything, okay?
And what grade was that?
I was a graduate. 12th grade, yeah.
Okay.
And so that part goes, Sogniamo un mondo senza più violenza, un mondo di ingiustizia e di speranza. Ognuno dia la mano al suo vicino and it goes on from there.
You know,
And they loved it.
You're well versed in voice. I could hear the operatic tones and so forth. You know, so does that help you with singing the type of music that you sing?
Well, let me tell you something. I love pop music. And the reason that I love pop music is because in pop music, you can show off your vocal range, okay? You just got to know how to write it. And if you write it the right way and you look for the right time and point in the song where you can throw those extra stuff in that people will be impressed with that not everybody can do, then you have yourself a great record. You know, what I found is that I have a harder time expressing myself vocally the way I would like to when I'm writing hip hop tracks, because what I've found is that in keeping with the changing times, you have to follow certain constraints, and it's just limited sometimes. You know, so I like I said, prefer doing pop records than hip hop records. I love doing, you know, the R&B. Again, my R&B always shoots more towards something commercial, so it'll end up being something popish. It's got the elements of pop, but it'll sound like R&B. And again, I find the right place and the right point in the song where I can throw in that extra stuff. That's a lot easier when it's more commercial.
So you've done some writing, and what was the latest song that you are going to perform for us later?
Well, we have a few songs from an EP that we're working on right now, but
I remember talking with you about Central America.
Yeah,
Take me to
Costa
Central
Rica.
America right now. There was something very interesting with regard to a competition that you entered.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
talk to us about that.
I did. You know, here in America, we have Con Edison, and you know, we have businesses in charge of the utilities and stuff like that. They have that out in Central America as well, and they have the AYA. They call the AIA, because in Spanish that's how you say AYA, and they're in charge of the utilities, more specifically the water, and you know, they promote you know, keeping the faucet closed and stuff like that, so that you're preserving water, because the water in Costa Rica is just so different from anybody else's water. You know, especially like being in Central America and knowing that if you go back up to Mexico, you know, you got to buy bottled water because it's just so polluted. So in these places where everything is just so rich, you know, Costa Rica's so rich, life thrives in Costa Rica. You know, they have the most species of flowers on the planet, the most species of birds on the planet. You go to the beach and monkeys come down from the trees to greet you, you know what I'm saying? And you better give them your food because they'll pull your hair. I make sure that I shave mine off bald before I go to the beach, you know what I'm saying? But Costa Rica's like that, you know? So they really want to preserve the natural resources. They have this competition that they do to promote that. And so then they have, they do an open invitation for anyone who can write a good song and can record a demo so that it can be sent to the AYA so that they can decide whether or not they want to give that song a chance to be a part of the on-stage competition that is televised nationwide. Okay? So while I was out there, a song that I co-wrote was selected, and so
wow, that's good.
we went, we performed it, and we won first place. They gave us a nice check, and they kept the song for the entire year. They used it as the official AYA song.
Okay, so is it still current?
No, that was back in 2000, maybe 2014. So they've had about 4 songs since.
Okay. Okay. So it's an annual competition.
It's an annual thing. They change every year.
Okay, I see. When did you turn professional?
I was 19.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 19, so I have been singing for a very long time, but I decided to sit down in front of a computer and record a song when I was 19. And soon after that, I had a manager. His name is Cedric. He, well, AKA Q Love. So most people know him as Q Love, you know, but he don't hide his name. He'll say, I'm Cedric. So Cedric, shout out Q Love. You know, I don't know what Big Man Entertainment's up to right now, but you know, they're great people.
Well, speaking of manager, you got a very dapper manager.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, tell
That's
us
right.
a little bit about how you guys got together.
So
And tell them who it is.
Clifford L. Marshall the second.
Okay.
Right? The second.
The second.
And nowadays, you know, they call him CLM2. You know, I met Cliff at Bronx Community College. I was a student, and
Studying.
computer graphics and digital design.
I had to bring that to the forefront. Let
So
them
yeah,
know all
you
of
know,
your traits.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm a Renaissance man. I do a whole lot of things. But Cliff was that guy. You know, you be on campus and you see Cliff. He's strutting. And he's here and he's there and he's everywhere and everybody know him.
Right.
You know? And I was so used to being like that everywhere I was. You know, so when I saw Cliff, I was like, yeah, that guy right there, I said, I need to get to know that guy. Because if I want to be that great, then those are the people that I need to rub shoulders with.
And now he's your manager.
And now he's my manager, yeah.
Wow. I played ball with Cliff for 20 plus years,
So have you
maybe.
ever seen him do the jump shot?
No. See, a lot of hidden jewels coming out, and we're going to continue this thing going, you know?
Yeah.
Because, you know, I want to make sure that with this production, Hell of a TV show, we cover everything.
That's
I
right.
want to cover every nuance of our experience in the industry.
That's right.
Yeah, so when is your next engagement?
What engagement?
I mean, you know, the performance. When are you going to perform? I'm performing tomorrow, so
I know.
You know, I asked that question to see if I could come out and see you.
You said engagement, and I was like, oh, snap.
Oh, you
Oh,
talking
snap.
about writing or living? Yeah.
We have a concert coming up in December, okay, and we're going to do it at the Playhouse in Roscoe Brown, which is on Bronx Community College's campus.
Oh, okay.
And so that's going to be nice. The Playhouse at Roscoe Brown it's excellent.
Roscoe Lee Brown, yeah, professor.
Yeah, exactly.
Late
him.
professor.
That's
yeah,
right.
I remember that gentleman.
Yeah, so God rest his soul. He was a great
Yeah.
man. You know, everybody on campus
Did you study with
remembers
him? I think he was in the Black Studies or African Studies.
Yeah, but no, unfortunately, no. I didn't get to
Okay,
meet him.
okay.
But you know, everybody who has met him, you know, they have only nice things to say about him. You know?
Right.
And he's got that playhouse in the building that they named after him, and it's just great for concerts. It's excellent. I love performing on that stage.
okay.
It's not a
Just keep
very
me
big.
posted.
Yeah,
You know.
it's not a very big concert hall, but it's an amazing concert
Intimate.
hall. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
great. I wanna you know, get to the concert hall at Lehman. You know, I know that's
that's
what you're
where we
gonna,
are
I know that's what
tomorrow.
you're going to be doing tomorrow. I
Yeah.
really like that one as well.
I want you to keep reaching for the moon, because you might get a star instead.
That's
Okay,
right.
my
That's
brother.
right. I appreciate it,
I'll see
Cedric.
you on the next one.
Anytime.
And we're going to do this again,
That's right.
and you do what you do.
And you keep
Ladies
doing
and
yours.
gentlemen, the stage is set. The curtain is gone. It's showtime. And Adam is about to perform. It is said, and as it is said, works. It's a hell of a TV show. Peace.
You and me, babe, going off the deep end. Used to chill, hot body on the weekend. Now I stay busy and you telling all your friends how I used to tear it up, girl, I won't pretend. I loved it, but I gotta do me now. Different dame, different name every week now. Mad cause I'm focused on the bag, bitch. Calling me a get all up in my feelings. These bitches go straight for the killing, yo. And I ain't finna die for ya. I just wanna have fun and get high with ya. You be lying when you say, baby, I ride for ya. You be lying when you say, baby, I die for ya. And I don't mean to diss you, but baby, I don't trust you, no. Hope it's alright, hope it's alright with you. And I don't know what's it gonna take for you to change my mind, baby. I hope it's alright, hope it's alright. Don't get me wrong, girl, I like you. I just have trust issues, so I cannot wife you. You be looking like a snack, girl, I'm tryna bite you. You know how I do, babe, you know I'm the type to. You know AD is in the place to be. From the boogie down PX, NYC. Take the 6 to the southeast, you know where I be. Soundview, Castle Hill, Park, Chester East. And I don't believe you, cause it's all the same. You be playing them games. I'm so focused, secure at the bag, and you so open, your nigga is mad, yeah. I'ma break it up, I'ma break it up. Sorry, babe, but I gotta break it up. I gotta do it cause I know you wanna fuck. No, you can't stay, but you can give it up, yo. And I don't mean to diss you, but baby, I don't trust you, no. Hope it's alright, hope it's alright with you. And I don't know what's it gonna take for you to change my mind, baby. I hope it's alright, hope it's alright with